Hello and welcome to this afternoon taste challenge. So this afternoon I have two American blended whiskeys. This is Kessler, Julius Kessler, Smooth as Silk American blended whiskey introduced in 1888. And there's a photograph of Julius Kessler who died in the 1930s in Hungary. He left the United States because he was actually from Europe, but when they had prohibition, he was like, let me get out of here. Okay, he did start selling his whiskey out west in the 1880s, and it caught on and became a big brand, and it's still the number two, the second best-selling American blended whiskey brand as of, the last time I checked. The number one selling is Seagram 7 Crown, as we know. I've never seen this sold in my town, but I see Seagram 7 sold in every store in my town and every other store in every other town I've been in. So that tells you how far ahead of it is the number two product. But there it is, number two. There's the Stagecoach, and they're selling whiskey off the Stagecoach out in Colorado or something like that in the little pen and ink drawing. I didn't get a glass bottle because I did not see a glass bottle. Blended and bottled by Julius Kessler Company, Frankfort and Claremont, Kentucky. Yeah, okay, sure. Anytime you see those two towns, you know it's James B. Beam Distilling Company. So it's Beam Distilling, not whatever alias name they want to use. 72.5% grain neutral spirits, 27.5% straight whiskeys, 2 years or more old. So it's a 2-year aged. 2-year aged. And I bought this for like $13.99 at Dorgnac's Food Center. But I think if you go there now, it's like $17.99 because of the JB inflation. Hold on a second. But whatever price it is now, it's still relatively inexpensive. Maxwell says, hello, Jay. Peace to you. Wow, Kessler. Yep. All right. So it's got this yellow and maroon and white label. Yellow, maroon, and white. Nice looking label. Of course, I would rather glass, but I couldn't find glass. Okay. Now, introduced much later in 2017, well-made American blended whiskey. It's got the branding iron on it, like you see out west. Premium quality trademark liquors. Well-made, and like people have been saying, yes, it is a double entendre. It's made for the well. It's a well whiskey. Just like I went to El Paso today. I was in Kenner, Louisiana. I did not specifically go to Kenner, Louisiana to go to El Paso restaurant, but I had to take my car to the Nissan dealership for recall. And then they checked it and they said it passed inspection. It does not need any repair work. They had to check something in the steering column called a lot code. The only way they could check the code was to take it apart and look at it. And if the number was a bad number, they would have to fix it because they say theoretically your power steering could go out. But if it was a number that wasn't on the bad list, they just put it back together and on your way. So it took about an hour and a half and then it was done. I don't have to be bothered by that anymore. But since I was there and I'd never been to El Paso and Kenner, I said, let me go past over there right when they're open and order lunch and eat it. I just actually ate it in the car on the way home. Finished it here. I got the chile relleno, which to me they needed to add salt. Didn't have any flavor. It was like usually restaurants put too much salt. They didn't put any. They had the restaurant, the restaurant chips and salsa, which they gave me to go. Most of the time they won't give you that if you're getting it to go. The salad was good. The beef taco was good. The refried beans were, I mean, they were okay. Probably something out of a can, honestly. I wasn't too thrilled with it, but it's a nice looking restaurant. And I know they have live music there on the weekends, and the outside interior is very nice. Okay, but anyway, you say, well, why are you talking about that? Because they had another one of those well products over there called Concierge. They had all kind of Concierge products: vodka, rum, gin, not Jim. And Concierge is a line of well products, and it's made by the Sazerac company, Buffalo Trace. And I've been seeing that a lot at Mexican restaurants for some reason. Guess I get a good deal. Okay, this is 79% straight whiskey. I wish it was. I'm sorry, 79% grain neutral spirits, 21% straight whiskey. This is 72.5% grain neutral spirits, and 27.5% straight whiskey. So this one, Kessler, has a much higher percentage of straight bourbon in it, nearly 30%. Is it Jim Beam bourbon aged just 2 years? Most likely. And then they blend it with the spirits and they make the product. But I can't say that. I'm saying most likely. I really don't know. Kessler. Started by Kessler. Then, like I said, Prohibition came and he left the country, sold his brand to Seagram's. Seagram's, they must have been in on the plot. When I say in on the plot, I tell people I think Prohibition was a plot concocted by the government and big liquor companies to run everybody else out of business. And they did it, and then they got everybody closed down and they brought it back. And then there were only a handful of beer companies left, a handful of liquor companies left, and all the mom and pops were killed off. He said that would be a very elaborate plot. I know, but it worked. I'm not saying it was a plot. I say I think it seemed like it could have been a plot. Okay, but whatever the case, Kessler went bye-bye, but their brand got picked up by Seagram's. And Seagram's kept selling it, making money off of it after Prohibition. And like I told y'all this morning in my video, Taste Challenge, they decided in 1991 to sell a whole bunch of brands and even facilities, I think, to to Jim Beam company, Beam Distilling, it was called Beam Distilling. And that's how they picked up all these brands, because the Seagram's people exited the liquor business. They literally sold everything, just like United Distillers and Chemical Corporation. United Distillers was one of the big liquor companies in America, but their mindset was to sell all their liquor business. They sold the whole thing to Beam, everything, in 1987, and they just concentrated on chemicals. So I guess it's now just called United Chemical Corporation. It was the United Distillers and Chemical Corporation. Okay, but whatever the case, their copper and the Kessler is a deep copper. So it's pretty dark. Do they add color in? It's possible. Jaime Torres says, what's up, Jay? Are the bigger chain stores like Albertsons and Walmart really cheaper than your local liquor store? Yeah, usually. But not necessarily. And anyway, well, Albertsons is not, because they always kind of high. Walmart, no, they're not cheaper. Walmart, Albertsons are high, I find. Total Wine is about $1 cheaper on everything. But you can go to some of these, like I said, Dorignax Food Center and find stuff a good deal cheaper. Or Star. Or Savannah Discount. Or Mathern's. Honestly, they're all about the same. Big or medium size or small. It's just that the small places will have the super sale. But I can't say Walmart doesn't, because you know I got some stuff at Walmart super sale. Y'all know I got that George Dickel for $12.50. the rye and the Superior 12 bourbon, Tennessee whiskey, I mean to say. And then same thing. And then I got that Cristalino tequila for $10 at Walmart. $10. And that's a $35 product. They had it for $10. And it sold out in one day. Okay, so yeah, it depends, it depends on what week it is, Jaime. Butch Willie said, did you know Evan Williams has a 12-year bourbon? Just found that out today. I did know that. I heard about that. They got a lot of specialties, but they're mostly only sold in Kentucky. Yeah, that's right. I knew about that, but you got to mainly go to Kentucky. All right. But if you're passing through, because Kentucky's kind of in the middle of the eastern states, right in the middle of the eastern states, a lot of people passing through, and you could stop and get stuff. Okay, I'm going to show you an old archived website. This is not current, so if you try to look it up, you're not going to find it. This is from years ago, 2012, December 14, 20. But this is when they used to show the brand, Kessler. Number 2 in America in blended whiskey. Number 1, it's definitely not my market. Julius Kessler is fondly referred to as Uncle Julius. A taste as smooth as silk, ideal sipped straight or mixed in classic cocktails. I'm sipping it straight. Julius Kessler, a charismatic salesman, is said to have gone saloon to saloon selling more whiskey than any man alive during the early 100s and early 1900s. Now, who says that? I like how they have done it. Well, who says it? That is one of those Beam. Just if you look at that bottle, Beam still uses that today, I think, for some of their. I didn't mean to save that. Okay. So here's when they used to show. Let's see if it'll show. If this is, it may not work. It's all archived. Yeah, this is when they used to have all of this. They don't show all this anymore. They show much of it, but definitely not. See, Windsor Canadian. Old Overhaul, Alberta Premium. They don't show that anymore. We know what this one was. Nothing's coming up. Oh, Lord Calvert. They sold that to doggone Luxco and Tangle Ridge. I saw Tangle Ridge in Bell Chase, a bottle just like that. But it was cheap. It was like $10. I got so much Canadian whiskey, y'all. It's really to buy anymore. Okay, so there's a little trip back in time. That's an older bottle of Windsor they were showing. That's right, an old 1980s bottle or 70s bottle. I don't know why they're showing such an old bottle. Be cool to have one, though, wouldn't it? Joe Cobb says, splurge and bought a 24 case of Corona Extra bottles, and it was nearly $60 in Ontario, and it's not even an import. It's made under license. Oh, no, you got hosed. We get it cheaper. I don't mean real cheap, but a lot cheaper. But at least we get the one made in Mexico, by golly. Smelled nuts, walnuts, pecans, almonds. I don't know what it is. Oak, wood, corn, little bread, little rye, honeysuckle nectar, same old yada yada yada, like we say since the 90s. We used to have the Mexican stuff in big bottles, and I preferred it. We stopped that a year ago. I'm sorry to hear that. Okay, this one smells even nuttier. Now the proof won't matter because they're both 80 proof, 40% alcohol. So I can't go by that. Aging, 2-year age. This one has no age statement, so that means the straight whiskey in there is at least 4 years age. So it's got to beat by 2 years. May not matter. Normal case of beer here is like $40 to $45. Man, we can get 30 packs here of Milwaukee's Best Light for $19.98. Milwaukee's Best Light, $19.98. I had a friend of mine. He was always short of money. He was always short of money. Well, he's still a friend. I said, why don't you buy Milwaukee's Best Light? Oh, that stuff's no good or whatever. I get him. I said, okay, keep paying $24 for 24, basically $1 a can for Bud Light, which is no better. But you could get 30 cans for $19.98 of Milwaukee's Best. Well, guess what he told me yesterday? I bought the Milwaukee's Best Light, and I've been drinking it. I said, really? I said, what do you think about it? He said, it's not bad. I kind of like it. I said, I told you. Good evening to you, Alex. Okay, so aroma, they're not the same, but I don't know which is which. But I think I better close my eyes because I saw one look darker, and I know the darker one's Kessler. Kessler is a higher percentage of straight bourbon, assuming it's bourbon, but I think that's a safe assumption. Question, do they add coloring to these products? Answer, I don't know, but I would assume that they do, but I cannot back that up in any way. Do they add flavoring to these products? Answer, I don't know. If it would come from Heaven Hill or the Sazerac company, you would know because they'll put that on the bottle. They'll just say with natural flavors and caramel color. That's just their practice. They do that. They'll tell you. Other companies, they don't want to talk about it. Cheers. Yeah, I watched the Astros lose that game. They in a fix now. All right. Kansas City was winning last I checked, right? All right. Sweet, sugary nuts, like I said, walnuts or really pecans or almonds. Pecans, people say around here, they can say pecans. Some people say pecans. Tastes good, smooth as silk. Oh, maybe it is the Julius Kessler because that's their tagline, smooth as silk. Oh boy. See this well made? I got it for $9. $9 plus tax for a liter bottle. Amazing, right? I know. I don't know why they had it so cheap at Star on Louisiana Highway 23 southbound in Gretna, Louisiana. It's not a popular product in Louisiana. It's obscure, to say the least. But I ran across it, so I bought it for $9. This one is not exactly popular either. You'll see it around, usually in the little 100 milliliter bottles, 200 milliliter. Yeah, usually the 100 milliliters, plastic. It'll be like in a basket by the checkout. People might buy those to sneak in to wherever they're going to work. No, hopefully not. But Dornack sells the big jugs, and they always seem to have it in stock, so people must be buying it. Nuts, nuts, nuts. Well, if you like pecans, almonds, and walnuts, this might be a whiskey for you. Actually, both of them might be because they're really strong on that. Now you say, I like charred oak. I want deeply charred oak. Well, I wouldn't buy these two products because you ain't going to get it. Now, do these have a bad alcohol burn with all that, if you want to call it filler, which is what it is? The answer is no, it doesn't. Certainly not. Certainly not. Some of these things, they're so cheap, they taste like rubbing alcohol. And they smell and taste like you're at the doctor's office, like when they putting the alcohol and cleaning the wound on your leg, you got your leg cut. But and I'll tell you, some of them do smell and taste like that, but these don't. These don't. These taste like, pretty dang good whiskey. Yeah. Are these designed to be sipping whiskeys? No. Nope. They're designed to be mixers. But I just showed you that 2012 screen capture from the old Beam website. And what did it say? What did it say? Ideal for sipping neat or in a cocktail. Ideal. Now, they said it was ideal for sipping neat. Well, I don't know if it's ideal. That might be a little overplayed, but it's certainly not bad. I don't take an issue with. I don't take issue with it. So why did Seagram's get rid of it? They got rid of it for the same reason that they got rid of every other liquor brand that they own. They wanted to get out the business, which they did finally. I think actually it was until 2002. It took, the final legal cut occurred that year, like the final sale. But I mean, essentially in 2000, they were like, we're out of here. And we auction and everything off. We're going to invest our money in something else, which in that case was mass media, telecommunications, streaming video, and all that, which they saw as a growing industry. In their mind, a bigger potential profit thing. So, well, they did it. They sold it. All right. Boy, it's close. I'll say this much. It is close. Which one would I buy? I'd buy whatever was cheaper. I'm telling you right now, if it was one was $9.99 and the other one was $10, assuming they're the same size bottles, I'd just buy it. I'd save a penny and buy the other one. Buy the one that was a penny cheaper. That's how close they are. It's all gone. All gone. I don't know. This one seemed like I'm getting more straight bourbon in it. It does taste like a younger Jim Beam. Okay, I'm going to say this is the Kessler. And I don't have much confidence saying that, honestly. Nope. It's the well made. That puts me at 3 and 5. Boy, this thing is turning out to be a fiasco. Not really, though, because I get to try them, and taste them and revisit them and whatnot. But it is disgusting, to get it wrong. So 3 wins, 5 losses. Oh, man. Golly gee. Okay. Still going to be pricey because of all the sin taxes. Yeah, I know. It's a sin that they make you pay all those taxes, what it is. It's very crazy. The booze prices. Quebec is a bit better. Big news, though, we are scheduled to allow beer sales in corner stores and gas stations in Ontario. Really? That is good news. I hope you're feeling well. You talking about me? I feel fine. Got the grass cut. They were certainly right about that. Pretty smooth. How is Kessler, Ron, says Alex. It's all right. As you said yesterday, though, a lot of these blended whiskeys probably taste very similar. They do, unless you get some really cut rate ones. I mean, I had some that are just woo. Especially the ones from Heaven Hill, the really low grade ones like what was that green label thing I had that I bought in Mississippi that with the horseshoes on it? Green label with gold horseshoes. Man, that thing was a mess. Oh, Kentucky Beau. Kentucky Beau. That means Kentucky boyfriend or Kentucky lover or whatever, romantic partner, affiliated, whatever. You know what I'm saying? No, I mean French. Uh, Kentucky love, I guess you'd say. And I remember I bought that at it was like, I don't know, cheap, $8.99. It might have been $6.99. Yeah, it was $6.99. $6.99 at what's the name of that neighborhood? In Mississippi. And the guy says Bonita Liquors. I brought the bottle up and he held it up. He said, Kentucky Beau. That's how he said it. Kentucky Beau. And he's thinking like all the drunks buy this. And I'm like, okay. But man, that thing was loud and not proud. That was a mess. But they do make a black label. Kentucky straight bourbon. There's Kentucky Beau straight bourbon. Saw it once, but I was too backlogged and I didn't buy it. And they have a white label, which is bottle and bond. You know what I mean? Which makes sense. Heaven Hill, all their bottle and bonds be white labels. You know, like Evan Williams, white label, Kentucky Beau, white. So if you see that white label, look for the white label, and then you know it's gonna be that bottle and bond. But that Kentucky Beau blended was a woo. He probably mistook you for a hobo. Well, I wasn't dressed like a look how I am now. But no, but I mean I'm just lounging around. But no, but I was dressed nice and he just probably saw it as comical, you know, like why is this dude buying Kentucky Beau? I was buying it. I said, and I told the guy, I said, I can't get that in Louisiana. He said, oh, okay. And he kept like kind of laughing, you know. I was like, yeah, I know who's buying this over here. They're like Susie Quattro. They stumbling in to buy it, you know. But I can't help that. That's a gift. But sorry I got it wrong. I really am sorry I got it wrong, but it's sickening. Well, I can show y'all what I got coming up after I finish the blended challenges, because I got a bunch of Sazeracs coming in. Now, maybe the Buffalo Trace blended will stand out more. I don't know. But I can show y'all what I got coming. Oh, you want to see it? I can tell you were listening to Judas Priest. Why was I listening to Judas Priest? Because sometimes I wake up real early and then I'm living after midnight, rocking till the dawn. Now, if you want to talk about cheap, this handle, I don't know why it's got grease, like it's smudged with oil. I guess my hand was touching it. This was $15.99 when I bought it, and they got it on sale again right now at Winn-Dixie for $15.99. You can only buy it there because it's their product. Winn-Dixie Liquors. Winn-Dixie Liquors, genuine Kentucky bourbon whiskey. Genuine Kentucky bourbon whiskey. And there's a horse with a jockey. I think I've been seeing this label since I was like 5 years old. When I was a little kid, they had these, but they were glass bottles. And I didn't drink it when I was little. People would have like a, I don't know, you know, like a big birthday party or something, and they would buy this stuff. They would get some rum, some brandy, some gin, this bourbon, vodka, whatever, and it would be from Winn-Dixie, and it would be inexpensive. So, like, I mean, they got the vodka right now for $11.99. But I bought this. Somebody said that is the most basic looking label I ever saw in my life. I said, it's basic, all right. But it is aged 3 years. Doesn't say anything about flavoring added, so no kind of flavoring. I did a video review yesterday. I haven't posted it. I was really surprised because I'm thinking, man, this could be a train wreck, But I was really impressed with it. Now, did it taste suspiciously similar to Ancient Age? Yeah. Ancient Age is a 3-year age Kentucky straight bourbon sour mash whiskey, though, from Buffalo Trace. This is coming from Buffalo Trace. But all this says is genuine Kentucky bourbon whiskey distilled in Kentucky, which would make sense since it's Kentucky bourbon whiskey. It's like, who thought of this label? It's like, we get that. Where did you get this idea? Or you went to the Office of Redundancy office? Kentucky bourbon whiskey distilled in Kentucky. Oh, sort of like Hawaiian pineapple from Hawaii. Makes sense. Okay, aged 3 years bourbon. That's just it. It says right here, bottled by Wide World Importers, Frankfort, Kentucky, which is a shell name, a shell company alias for Buffalo Trace. They're not about to put the name on this. Aged 3 years bourbon. So it says bourbon. Okay. Is this about the most basic bourbon you'll ever get? Yeah, it pretty much is. And you know who owns Winn-Dixie? Your friends at Aldi. So does Aldi sell liquor in the United States? Yeah, they do now through their Winn-Dixie subsidiary. I don't know if Harvey's sells liquor. We don't have Harvey's around here. We have Winn-Dixie. All right, so there you go. There you go. Oh, man. Did I buy all the Winn-Dixie brands? Yes. No, I did not, because they had the vodka, which I did not buy, and they had the 100 proof vodka, which I did not buy, because I don't really deal in vodka. So I did not buy, but I bought the 2 rums, silver and gold. I bought the 2 tequilas, silver and gold. I bought the blended Scotch whiskey, which is an atrocity of mankind. I bought the bourbon, which you're looking at now. And oh yeah, I didn't buy the gin. Did not buy the gin, GIN. So I bought a lot of it, but I did not buy all of it. They don't make a WD Liquors mezcal. There's no Winn-Dixie mezcal that I could find. There was no Winn-Dixie brandy. There was no Winn-Dixie barrel proof 10-year age bourbon. Okay. But yeah, so there you go. Okay, last call for comments. I can say right now I've never had a bad quote unquote bourbon. I've had some cheapies. Yeah, I never really had a bad bourbon either. I had some that weren't as good. Yeah, I think you're right. The worst bourbon I ever had was still good. The worst bourbon I ever had was a good bourbon. People ask me this sometimes. What's the worst Major League Baseball park you've ever been to? Because I've been to games at every Major League ballpark, including many that are no longer in existence. And I said, you got to remember, the worst Major League ballpark is probably one of the best sports facilities you've ever been to in your life. Okay, so it's a matter of relativity. You say, well, I've been to so many AAA ballparks. I live in Louisville, Kentucky. I live in Las Cruces, New Mexico, or whatever. I go to AAA games. Okay, whatever. El Paso, Texas. We have a wonderful stadium. That's good. And you go to the worst Major League ballpark, and it will destroy the best AAA stadium. You know what I mean? Like there's no, it's like a different world. It's not, you can't, it's the same thing with football. You know, you go to the NFL, their stuff is all primo, you know, their stadiums are primo. So I guess at this, no, I can't comment because that was 2006. I did go to the Oakland Coliseum in '06, and they had recently renovated it. That was back when they were trying to keep the team in there. So it was very nice. I was very impressed. They had a wonderful barbecue, some of the best barbecued beef ribs I ever had. So it was really nice. But then everything kind of like stopped after '06, and then it just got worse and worse and worse up until now, 18 years later. But at the time when I was there for 2 games, Friday night, June 30th, Saturday afternoon, July 1st, it was very nice, and I was impressed. Okay, but I had a feeling it was going to develop as it did. But anyway, that's not my concern. I don't live in Oakland. So that's it. I'm sorry I got it wrong. Like I said, 3 wins, 5 losses, not where I want to be right now, but I'm just going to keep fighting, you know, battling, try to do some better taste challenges. All right, y'all take care now. Bye-bye.